إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. أيها الأحبة في الله، مع حديث جليل ممتع. يقول النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم فيما رواه عبد الله بن عمر رضي الله عنهما قال: قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم: إن أدنى أهل الجنة منزلة لمن ينظر في ملكه 2000 سنة يرى أقصاه كما يرى أدناه. Repeat. إن من أدنى أهل الجنة منزلة لمن ينظر في ملكه مسيرة 2000 سنة يرى أقصاه كما يرى أدناه. This hadith tells you about the greatness of the Jannah and the size of the Jannah and the bliss of the Jannah and how to really aspire to go there in logical ways, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said: سارعوا إلى مغفرة من ربكم وجنة عرضها السماوات والأرض أعدت للمتقين. Rush, compete, haste, work, do whatever it takes to go to a Jannah that the width of it is as big as heavens and earth. A human being cannot relate to things this size in the sense of control and enjoyment. If I want to have control of something, I want to enjoy it. So brother, you have a home in Pakistan, and now they have a nice feast, and they got fruits and vegetables and you name it and all of those things. What good is it doing to you? You're here. What good is your beautiful home there at this moment? You're here. So if you own the whole world, you can only benefit and take advantage at this moment from what you have now. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling you the day of judgment, Jannah is so huge. But to me, it's not an advantage. The way I am right now, it's not. I can see as far as that door, that's it. I can't see my home back home. And if I have this Jannah so huge, so what's the benefit? Or what's the catch to it? But look how Prophet Muhammad ﷺ puts it. The distance or the size of that Jannah, a distance of 2,000 years. Is it 2,000 years walking? Even that, it's unbelievably huge. Is it running? Is it driving? Is it flying? We don't know. It's left. But let's go with the least. Walk. Walk for 2,000 years. How far do you cover? What distance do you cover? This is the size of the Jannah that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, you have. But look at the beauty of it. He said, يَرَى أَقْصَاهُ كَمَا يَرَى أَدْنَاهُ. يعني, the farthest point in that Jannah, you see it as if you're seeing the point next to you. Just like I'm looking at that phone, I'm looking at my home back home. Just like I can control this and take it in my hand, I can control everything that I have over there. I can take this food and eat it just like I can take it from whatever that has. I can control this just like I can control the other one. This is the change that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts in us, in our vision, our hearing, in our selves, where you're not the same height. It'll be the height of Prophet Adam alayhi salam, 60 yards in the air. Don't worry about how tall you are, my friend Muhammad. Inshallah, the day of judgment you'll get my height and more. Don't envy me, please. Say Allahumma barik. We have wonderful things to look for. We have ni'am, ya ikhwan. In Jannah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He says, وَلَهُمْ فِيهَا مَا تَشْتَهِي أَنفُسُهُمْ وَلَهُمْ فِيهَا مَا يَدَّعُونَ. Can we get this? Can we get that? Yes, Zalami. Read the ayah. Anything you want, you get it. Khalas, why you keep going in details? Anything you want, you get it. Khalas, you want, you know, some people will ask you for, like one person, he says, so what do we do in Janna? And I say, just kick back. And you know, that's boring. And I said, okay, then go to hell. Kind of boring. Because people reflect and think that this Jannah is like, here, you have nothing to do and you just don't know what to do. Yes, then a continuous, excellent feeling, 24/7. There is no, the word boredom does not exist. There's no such a thing as bored. There's no such a thing as ugly. There's no such a thing as tired. There's no such a thing as sleepy. None of that doesn't exist. You know how sometimes you feel so good and so strong and so happy? It's continuous. That is just maybe the name is like that. It's continuously like that with multiples of that happiness in Jannah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you to understand that what you're getting is not something simple, it is big. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you to work for it. It's not something you dream for or you wish for. You have to race for it and you have to compete for it and you have to work for it. But it's easy at the same time. It's easy. You know, إن الله لا يرضى عن العبد إذا شرب الشرب أو أكل الأكل أن يحمده. Just eat, take a sip of a drink or whatever they say. You were just dying of thirst. And you pay anything for that water. And now all Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, I know that some smart people may just give you a sentence from here to the front door of thanking and appreciating and not everybody can do that. You know, people in Palestine, shukra. That's the maximum you can get. But you know, brother from Egypt, you can get a lot. Now, this person can really give gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and this person cannot. So how can we compete? I want to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with something that suits Him, but I'm not a good speaker. I don't have eloquency. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, all of you are equal. Who doesn't know how to say Alhamdulillah? That's all He wants subhanahu wa ta'ala, to say Alhamdulillah. He doesn't want all that addition that you can. This is the Jannah. Since we're talking about the Jannah, tenemos con nosotros aquí un hombre de México que quiere hablar con ustedes acerca de cómo pasar el mensaje del Islam. Por favor, señor Jalil, venga aquí y habla con ustedes. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. 5 minutos.
¿Con micrófono o sin micrófono?
Say it again?
¿Con micrófono o sin micrófono?
Oh.
They got you there.
Mire. Un amigo allá.
¿Habla español?
Su esposa mexicana. Sí. So, cuidado. I'm warning you.
Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Atestiu que não existe nada nem nada com direito a ser adorado excepto Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, y atestiu que Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam es el último mensajero y siervo de Allah. En español, ¿verdad?
No, señor.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. That's even harder. I just say the shahada in Spanish, and that's how every morning I look. That's the language of my mother language. You know, that's the language of my heart, and that's what I say every single morning in Spanish. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I bear witness that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes people from the darkness and put them on the light, and at the same time He takes people from the light and put them on the darkness. I say I bear witness because I was one of them. I was in the darkness, and I'll tell you something. There is nothing that you will enjoy. It's something that I will never even desire for my worst enemy. When I was there, it's something that it was really bad. I don't came here just to talk about my past, but anyways, I've been living in the United States for 5 years. I embraced Islam 2 years and 6-7 days. And I just learned English 3 years ago. And actually, I left my country, Mexico, not because I wanted, because I had to run out of there. I got kidnapped. So actually, in Spanish we say, me salieron, me sacaron. Like, they took me out. I had to run out of my country. It was not just out of my house, my state, my city. It was out of my country because, it was very worse, very hard. I say 2 years and 6 days. Why did I say that? And actually, it's something that today Sheikh Hasan told me. Why you have to say 6 days? Some people will say, okay, you can just say, around 2 years. I embraced Islam. I took Shahada 2 years. But actually, I answer him. I say 2 years and 6 days. Because every single morning, every single day, I'm accounting that Alhamdulillah, I'm Muslim. Alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guided me to this path. And it's something that it has changed my whole life. It's something unbelievable, and I can even tell you that is like another dimension. It's like I'm living in another world. I can see things that I didn't see before. I'm able to see those little things right now. But I'm asking you a question, when was the last time that you thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you are Muslim? That is a question. Do you take it as a granted, or do you really live Islam? Like for me, the difference is that I choose to be Muslim. I don't know, like, I cannot say that unfortunately, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by His grace, guided me to Islam. I was 23 years old. It was not that I was born as a Muslim, So I'll tell you something. What do you do to pass the message? For me, I believe that Islam has changed my life. And I believe that is something really beautiful. That's why I feel that it would be so selfish if I just keep it to myself. For me, I gotta pass it out. I'm Latino, and every time that I have the opportunity to talk to a brother or sister about Islam, I never lose that opportunity. Why? Because I was already in a bad path, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took me out. So how selfish would be if I keep it just to myself, And how to pass that message? I would say that a brief smile can be a good dawah, And by the way, the word that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses for dawah is a commandment. It's not an option. It's you must do it, So how many times you have had the opportunity to talk to a brother, or even just to give him a smile, or just to tell him, I have a program in Spanish in the Masjid in Arlington. Do you want to come? Do you want to just join with me? Sometimes we don't even do it, and in fact, sometimes we even do things worse, that instead of bringing people to Islam, we are pushing them away. And I'll tell you a brief anecdote. I work in a restaurant that is next door, ICI. I never said.
Don't say it, señor.
No.
¿Por qué no?
Porque no quiero hacer un comercial.
They want to go. No, this commercial. They want to go.
He's telling me say the name, and every time that I refer to my workplace, I never say the name because I don't want to advertise. I can say yes, advertise, and then I go. Okay, the restaurant is called Casbah Grill. It's a Moroccan cuisine. It's next door. It's walking distance from ICI. Anyways, I'm working there. I was working there. That was like few months ago, and it was in a Friday after khutbah. It was in a Juma after khutbah. So this brother, I was serving the food for a brother, and this brother, I served the food, and then I left. And as soon as I walked back, he did this to me. He said, "Hey, brother, where's my bread? Where's my bread?" Like that. And I look around and I say, patient, you're a Muslim, you know, like patient. So I went back and I even hugged him, you know, like kind of like he was older than me. And I just to show respect, I said, "Brother, this dish doesn't come with bread. So if you want some bread, I can bring you some bread. Tagine with bread, like tagine with bread." So subhanallah. I say, "No problem, I'll give you some bread." Anyways, I went back. Another customer saw the action of this brother, and he said, "You know what? Bring me the check from that guy." He paid the check for that guy. And then I came back, I bring the bread. So anyways, he finished his meal, and he said, "The check, give me the check." Like that. And I went back, and I said, "I gotta say something to him." So I got the check, and I brought the check to the brother, and I say, "Brother, this is your check, but somebody already paid for it. So it's zero, you know?" And I called him again, and I said, "Brother, do you know, I don't know where you're from," I told him, "but do you know that thing that you are doing to me and the way that you are talking to me is very, very disrespectful in my country where I'm from, and actually here you are in the United States, and that's something very, very disrespectful." And he was just looking at me like very angry. And he was looking at me angry, and I say, "You're Muslim, right?" Yes, like that. I say, I can tell that you're Muslim because of the kufi that you're wearing and the top that you're wearing." And he was like this. And I told him, "You know what? Alhamdulillah, you are doing this to me because I know what is Islam, and I already has embraced Islam, and I know that this is not Islam. And Alhamdulillah, you did this to me, and you are not doing this to my Colombian co-worker that I've been trying to give him dawah, and he might be scared of the action that you are doing." And he was just scared. And he smiled. He was like, "Are you a convert?" I said, "Yes, I'm from Mexico." He said, "You're a good man." And he started smiling. And I say, "That's what I needed. Why didn't you start from that smile? You know, why didn't you start from that smile, and it would be all different?" So my point is like sometimes with our actions, instead of bringing someone to Islam, we push them away, you know? And something very, very interesting is like, for me, I'm Mexican, and I never lose the opportunity to pass the message. I even let them open the door for me. Some of my people even will laugh about how am I wearing, you know, the kufi or the top. But for me, it's like a good opportunity to give dawah. They say when they see me that I'm wearing like this, and they hear me speaking Spanish, they say, "How come? Where do you learn Spanish?" I said, "In Mexico." "For how many years?" 20 years. "Oh, your Spanish is very good." Because I was born over there. You know, like it's like a key. You know, you give them like a good, very, very good opportunity to even talk about it. And for real, brothers and sisters, Islam is so clear. Islam is so simple. And I'll tell you something. There is people out there that is killing each other, raping each other, stealing, doing bad stuff. And Alhamdulillah, I'm here because Allah knows best. Maybe I would have died if if Allah wouldn't even have the mercy to guide me to Islam. And I'll tell you an advice: you never think that people out there don't want to hear about Islam. because that is just something in yourself. You don't know what they think and what they have in their hearts. Why? Because I was in that side. And for me, when I was in the darkness, I was begging, wallahi, I was begging to be out of that. I was about to kill myself because I didn't know what to do. It was such a darkness that I saw myself like a somnambulo, like a zombie, like walking in the air without direction, So don't think that the people out there don't want to hear about Islam. If you see people even drinking, even having party, sometimes we say, oh, these guys, they're already misguided. Why am I going to tell these Latino brothers that about Islam if they are just party people, But who knows? That's the people that maybe are hungry to know about Islam, And for me, the society in that I used to live is something that is like a bubble, Back home in Mexico, you see that your father drinks, your mom drinks, your father has another woman, your uncle, this and that. So that's what you see in around you. So what do? You start doing the same. You don't know the truth because for you that's the truth. You don't know that alcohol is bad because your mother and father drinks. Your sister, everyone drinks. Everyone has. The other guy has 2 women, even yourself. You don't know that something that is bad because that's the society that is around you. What you have to do is, for me, I had to step a little bit back on the guidance. When I first, this is just to finish. I think it's a little bit late. And just to finish, is the first thing that I knew about Islam is that Muslims cannot drink alcohol in Ramadan. And Muslims pray in a certain direction. That's what I knew. Why? Because these guys, I don't want to say where they are from, but these guys, I'll tell you the truth, I used to be part of the Shaitan army. Why? Because I was the typical Latino, you can say, Mexican that used to be like, oh brother, come on, let's go have this drink. I don't have money. You don't have to have money. I pay for it. Let's go have with this. Let's go hang out with these ladies. No. No, the temptation is even bigger than the knife, So I was with these guys, Muslims. I would say I was part of the Shaitan army. Why? Because I was encouraging them to do bad. And what did they do? They used to come with me to the club. They used to come bring alcohol, this and that, Then after that, 2-3 years after that, after I think, when I received the guidance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I started meeting people, actually at Richland College. I started meeting people at Richland College, and I was like, how come if Islam is bad, these guys are good? Alhamdulillah, the guys that were my classmates, they were very, very good. Why? Because I was the bully guy that was like, hey, eat this bacon. No, we don't like bacon. How come? No, we don't like it. They didn't want to tell me that it was against their religion. And I was like, how come you don't like something that you haven't tasted? I was bullying them, all the time. You guys, you this. But they were always like, in the right path, something that they were like, okay, you know what? Wait a minute, I have to pray. And I saw that, I saw that, and I was thinking, how come if Islam is bad, these guys are good? It has to be something was in place over there. So I became interested, and then I started asking questions, and then I started reading, and then until I found out the truth. So the difference is that what would have happened if these guys 3 years before I embraced Islam, they would have told me, they would be the guys that are, no, we don't do that. Maybe I would have embraced Islam 3 years before. Allah knows best. But that was the decree of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So in less words, I just want to give you an advice. There is people that is hungry to know about Islam. And it's our duty to even just, if you can not deliver an ayah, deliver a hadith, or just behave upon your religion, at least just giving a smile, you know, and just giving a smile, be nice and courteous. I'm telling you, there is people that need to be guided, that need to know about Islam, and Islam for me is something very, very easy. It's pure, it's clear, you know. It's not something hard, you know. And he even asked me minutes ago. He said, "So can you explain me the pressure, right? You say the pressure for the people." I say, "You know what? I don't have pressure because I know that I'm in the right path. So I feel so confident to be Muslim that I can even go there and yell, I'm Muslim, you know why? Because I'm so happy that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took me out and put me on the light. Jazakallah khair. And if I say something wrong or something, it comes from me. If I say something good, it comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Jazakallah khair. Barakallah fiik.
You know, subhanAllah, that reminds you when he said, I don't have pressure, I can go out and yell it. We know the Sahaba radiallahu anhum who used to go around Mecca and yell La ilaha illallah and get beaten and get the punishment and everything. So just like we always say, the Sahaba time, maybe not here now, but the example, we see it. Like some people would say, okay, who's going to be like Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu and give? There is a sister in South Lake, she gave everything she had. 200-some thousand donated. Every penny she had. This brother, just the first time I heard it, he said, I'm willing to go and scream La ilaha illallah, just like some of the companions did. He's not a Sahabi, but he has some qualities that he can do like Sahaba. So don't give up hope. Sometimes we say, do this and go, oh, these are Sahaba, this is a prophet, and this is as if you cannot do anything like what the Sahaba radiallahu anhu did. Yes, you can, and they are there, so we can copy them. You may get close, you may do the same, but alhamdulillah, that's an example, living example. Jazakallahu khairan.
What's your name?
Nah. That's another thing, you know, the open house, alhamdulillah, you know, we brought Islam in Spanish from Houston to here, and he's doing a great job doing that. So if you are thinking, Brother Murjan and the brothers here, if you're thinking about organizing something for Islam in Spanish, for the Mexicans around here, for the employees that we have, this brother can help you in that and willing to do that and bring some speakers and everything. So this is an opportunity, inshallah, for you to do that.
Barakallah. Yes, last weekend, 2 weekends ago, we had an open house at Epic, displaying the Masjid. Epic, yes, by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, 4 people embraced Islam, 2 on Friday and 2 on Saturday on the open house. And among those on Saturday, one boy that is 13 years old, La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, he embraced Islam, he took Shahada, 13 years old.
MashaAllah, that can happen here, so Jazakallah khairan for listening. This is Br Jalil again.
Jalil.